Hey guys, welcome to my review of the OnePlus 2, which is the follow-up of the popular OnePlus 1 from 2014. Many had called it the flagship killer due to its premium specs and low price point. So what does the newer phone bring to the table? Design-wise, there hasn't been many changes. The OnePlus 2 has an aluminium frame with chamfered edges that runs along the sides, giving it that premium feel. The Cyanogen logo is no longer there because it runs Oxygen OS instead of CyanogenMod. And the sandstone back cover gives it that unique feel which enhances the grip. The cover can be removed if you prefer something else, and it also reveals the dual nano SIM slot on the back. On the right side, you'll find the lock button and the volume rocker, which are both decently tactile. The headphone jack is on the top left, and on the left side you will find a special alert slider which you can use to set what type of notifications to come through. Down will allow all notifications, middle will show priority notifications which can be customized, and up will disable notifications altogether. Down at the front lies a home button, but it's not your average home button. It actually has no travel distance and will only give a capacitive response when touched. It also doubles as a fingerprint scanner, which works decently well. Sometimes it has a hard time recognizing my finger if I do have it slightly angled, but that doesn't happen very often, and when it works, it's really fast. As for the home button, I'm not a very big fan of it. I prefer it to have a travel distance because at times it seems to have difficulty recognizing the fact that I am indeed pressing the button, but it's not a huge problem. Either side of it is a back and recent button. These buttons can be disabled in the settings if you prefer to use on-screen buttons. On the bottom of the phone is the versatile USB Type-C connector for charging, and either side of it are speaker grills, but only one on the right actually works, much like how it was on the iPhone 5S. Unfortunately, the OnePlus 2 comes in slightly thicker than its predecessor, but it's not a big deal there. Overall, I can say that the device feels really nice in the hand thanks to the sandstone back cover and the metal band. Definitely a premium device. Here I have the 64GB model, and while it also comes as a 16GB model, I highly suggest you don't even consider the 16GB model as there is no SD card slot in either models and 16GB will simply not be enough. Specs wise, the OnePlus 2 sports a 5.5-inch 1080p IPS display. Colors are sharp, vibrant and not oversaturated, and while some people might be surprised it isn't 2K panel, keep in mind that this is not a premium flagship device, and for its price, 1080p is reasonable and is plenty for most people anyways. It also means there is less stress on the battery. Under the hood is a beastly Snapdragon 810 paired with the Adreno 430 GPU and 4GB of RAM, making for blistering performances. It scored around 57,000 on the Antutu benchmark, which is lower than the Galaxy S6, but higher than the HTC M9. Everything runs smooth as you would expect it to, and games are no problem at all. GTA San Andreas is one of the most demanding games in the Play Store right now, and the OnePlus 2 ran it at max settings full resolution at what seems to be 30 FPS or above, which is definitely impressive. The OnePlus 2 runs Oxygen OS as mentioned before, so the first thing you'll notice is that it's very similar to stock Android, because that is essentially what it is, just with a few extra features. In the Settings app, there's a buttons menu where you can enable on-screen buttons, swap buttons around, set what double tapping the home button does, and what holding the back button will do. The gestures menu is more simple. Here you can choose settings like double tapping the home screen to wake the phone, etc. Pulling down from the top will reveal the notifications and quick settings dashboard. You can customize these by rearranging them or choosing which ones to show. Pressing onto these icons will lead you to the settings menu. As for battery life, I managed to get through most days just fine with a 3300 mAh battery, with the phone down to around 10%. I had either Wi-Fi or 4G on at all times, Bluetooth sometimes, and I played games, browsed the web, used social media, etc. So while the battery life isn't the best, it's not too shabby, but keep in mind that it is not removable. So I guess in terms of battery life, it is a downgrade from the OnePlus 1, which was known to have amazing battery life. It also does not have wireless or quick charging features, which other manufacturers like Samsung have embraced to make up for a shorter battery life. Another thing that is missing is NFC, which OnePlus claims wasn't included because they found that OnePlus 1 users didn't use it enough, so keep that in mind if you do happen to use it. And now onto the camera. The OnePlus 2 rocks a 13 megapixel sensor at the back and a 5 megapixel front facing camera. Pictures taken with the rear camera are definitely better than the average smartphone. It features laser autofocus for super quick focusing. Pictures are sharp but not over sharpened, colors are generally very accurate, and the dynamic range is also pretty good. The speed at which it takes photos is also quite fast, but not as fast as, say, the Galaxy S6. When you open the camera app, swiping from the left brings up a menu where you can switch modes such as video and panorama, as well as the settings icon where you can change the resolution. For videos, there are the options of 1080p, 720p and 4K, as well as slow motion, all of which work very well. If you want an in-depth review of the camera as well as more sample pictures and footage, do check out MKBHD's video, which will be linked in the description. So to finally conclude, should you buy the OnePlus 2? Well, for starters, the OnePlus 2 isn't widely available yet, and it still uses a pesky invite system, albeit an improved version. However, you can pick it up on many online resellers such as Opomart. The prices are likely to be above the retail price of $329 US, but if you can find a good deal from a trusty website, I do believe you should go for it, as the OnePlus 2 is definitely one of the better phones to come out so far in 2015, and for its price, you really can't do much better. If you liked what you saw, please do leave a like rating, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, take care and peace.